Hello, hello. All right, so Ophiuchus, welcome. So this is kind of a special storytelling because we are right there at the spring equinox, and so that's the time where the sun passes over the equator, and so we're going to start in the northern hemisphere, start having a lot more sunlight, which is really exciting. And to me, that always, speaks of like happier energy, revitalized energy, just all kinds of like clarity and direction. And because this is all about a cycle, it's a seasonal cycle. To me, it looks, the way I'm telling the story is I'm asking, when we are about to start a cycle that technically repeats, right? Because that's what cycles do. It gives us that opportunity to say, okay, wait a second. In the time frame when I've been in this other season, what has changed now as I begin this repeat cycle, where it's a little brighter, a little more clarity, a little more energy and vitality now? When I contemplate where I have been, what has changed? It's not like we're a whole new person. And I don't want to say what is new. I just want to say what has changed in our perception. And the reason I say it this way is because I imagine it much the way we look at hands on a clock. A clock is always moving in one direction, but it's a repeat cycle. And every time we hit 12, we know it's 12 hours before we hit that 12 again. And in those 12 hours, what changes in us? What new epiphanies do we have? What new information do we learn? How does it alter our perception the next time that clock strikes 12? That's kind of how I'm looking at this. But obviously with kind of a positive spin on it, just because it's when this particular cycle is about the sunlight coming back. So something maybe brighter and more positive. We got a Four of Swords, we got the Temperance card. So first off, Ophiuchus might be looking at things with perception of like they're realizing that they're very healed. They may be looking at things through a very trusting that they have been guided, trusting that they are in a better place at this point in their lives because if they had downtime or they had silence, they're looking at it now and saying, you know what, I realized I needed that. I realized I needed that calm space. Taurus had something a little bit similar to what I'm saying here. But they're recognizing, our Ophiuchus is recognizing that they're in a much more peaceful frame of mind. And yet it's also like what's changed is that they're saying, I rested when I needed to. I was given opportunity to like recalibrate. And now I think what's changed is that I'm ready to rock and roll. We got a Knight of Swords. I'm ready to pick up the pace. Let's go. Let's go. And sure enough, we've got the Lovers and the Six of Wands. I mean, to me, this is looking like Ophiuchus is ready for romance. They're ready to tango dance. They're ready for something. They healed long enough, exactly as long as what they needed to in order to be ready and raring to go. They want this next adventure. That's what's changed. And they're feeling at peace enough in themselves to say, I want to do this all over again. I want to have a relationship. I want to date. I want to flirt. I want to make flirt with someone. It's all this kind of like, they feel confident, like they can be successful in love and romance. And that might have been a while since they last felt like this. I love that song by Heartless Bastard. It's, look at that, Three of Swords. The song is called Only for You. And the band is Heartless Bastard. And it's a wonderful, wonderful track. But this is reminding me of that just kind of like the energy of this. When I say it's been a while, I think since Ophiuchus has felt like they were ready for romance. So that's a big change. It's also, there's something here where they have triumph over that heartbreak and betrayal. Doesn't mean that they don't still have maybe fears and worries about heartbreak and betrayal, but they have triumph knowing that even if I'm scared of that, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to let myself love again. I feel like this is a bruised heart that is brave enough. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. That card, it didn't pop out. It did like a barrel roll a couple times. Look at that. We got the Tower in the reverse. I wonder what the barrel roll card would have been, but it didn't pop out and I only take the jumpers. That was interesting. Like a little rotisserie chicken. This is the Blasted Tower in the reverse. I feel like our character is saying, I am not going to sabotage my chance at happiness. I'm ready for love. I'm going to believe in it. I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to say, no, this is going to be something that I'm willing and ready to experience again. Why would I insist that, oh, I should get scared again? I'm not going to. They're determined not to let past situations impact their future. Ooh, we got a 6 of Cups. We got the 8 of Coins. And we got the 4 of Wands. You know, it's funny. I've been using 2 decks for every zodiac, and the last like 2 or 3 zodiacs that I've done, I'm using 2 different decks because I would like to have more than just one storyline of, you know, what has changed. But for the last 2 or 3 zodiacs, no matter what, we still keep getting kind of like an expanded and continuation of the original thought process here. So this must be the big thing. So our character in this storyline, what has changed for them is all pertaining to the same topic, which is about love. It's talking about trust in people, trust in soulmates, trust that there are romantic partners in this world that we will meet that'll be part of a soul group, and not all of them will become potential romantic lovers, but the ones that want to work with us on it, that's the one that we end up with. It's maybe that's the clearest way to define who is our long-term potential. Well, we meet lots of soulmates in this world, and meaning that could be anyone that we're attracted to enough to date, could be someone we're drawn to because, hey, they feel like a soulmate. But does that mean that they're supposed to be the one that is our 4 of Wands? Probably not unless they show that they want the same things that we do and that they want to build the same way that we do. So this is what's changed for Ophiuchus. I think that they're having a much more relaxed view of, a lot of people will be soulmates, will be individuals that we connect with, but it's the one who works on things with us, that wants the same things that we do, that wants to build that nest, that home with us. That's who our real person is. And I think that that's kind of nice, because it's taking the pressure off of dating and not having really high expectations, but rather saying, I'll probably meet lots of great people, but I gotta also know, not everyone will be the one, and anyone that throws up like a blockage, if they're giving me the signs and the signals that they are not trying to work on something, then they're not the one. They're not. Anyone who blocks building with me is not going to be the right one. So it's going to be really simple. It's almost like Ophiuchus has had this change in perception, and it's relaxing them into the idea that it's not going to be that hard to meet the right one, because the wrong ones will show themselves pretty obviously. It almost seems like, I know this sounds like such a simple thing, but if we were to ask ourselves, like in past relationships, did someone pursue me? And we could say, well, no. Okay, then they weren't the one. You know, they didn't pursue because they didn't really want the same things that we did. They had their own issues. They were scared. They had, you know, things that made them not. They could have still been a soulmate, but they just weren't the soulmate that we're going to have the 4 of Wands relationship with, that perfect harmonious relationship where we're partners in everything and we build a life together and we build, you know, a terrific, you know, legacy together. And instead of being brokenhearted over it, instead we're just like, it's a relief to say, wait a second, you mean I could spot that just through their actions? And then I can immediately say, oh, they're a soulmate. They're just not my 4 of Wands soulmate. Okay, that makes it so much easier. It's simplifying the dating game, the world of romance, because it's not personal about like, oh, well, they didn't love me or they played with my heart. No, they didn't, because if they didn't show up and give me their love and emotion and build with me, they weren't playing and trying to mess with my mind. They literally didn't show up and do any of the things that they were supposed to do. Wait a second. So all I have to do is watch their behavior, and then that helps me define, could they be my 4 of Wands, or are they just in the category of soulmate, but not going to be my 4 of Wands? It gets really simple. This whole thing feels like that's Ophiuchus's like big breakthrough. Is what's changed is they have simplified the idea of love and romance, and it's allowing all that stress and pressure to come off. And now it's like, well, I'm looking forward to this. In fact, it's going to be awesome to see who I meet, who wants to cooperate and collaborate. And they're not setting themselves up for any kind of heartbreak or saying, oh, I'm going to meet somebody, they're not going to give to me, and then I'm going to feel devastated because I'm going to, it's going to chip away at my self-esteem. This Ophiuchus is like, oh my gosh, that's so not the way that works. Why did I not think of this sooner? So it's a wonderful sense of relief in all of this, and it's allowing them to look forward to meeting other people, dating other people, and really connecting with the person who has the same vision for the future that Ophiuchus does. And that's really what it boils down to. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. If you do enjoy my fictional storytelling, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to the channel. I am delighted you are here. If you're new here, welcome. I am not a psychic. I wish I had that gift. I do not. I have the gift of storytelling. And so this is always for, interesting ideas, new food for thought, new perspectives. That's what I hope my storytelling brings up. So I hope you have a fun time while you're here, and take care. Bye.